Who would have thought ASUS would make it to 8 iterations of their Zenfone lineup and still not spell phone right? It's P-H-O-N-E, ASUS, not F-O-N-E. I can have some fun with these. Who am I? No, you don't get an Einstein vibe? No. You know what? What'd they say, defy ordinary? I'd say this is a better than bare minimum included phone case. I really don't like those clear kind of vinyl-y plastic ones. This is kind of a harder plastic. Feels a little more robust. Ooh, it's kind of weighty, but actually compact. Oh, interesting. Wow, it's really holdable. This is a kind of different-y feeling phone. It's got like it kind of reminds me of a Galaxy S6 or S7, but more modern feeling in the hand somehow. So you don't have that 2.5D glass that you see on a lot of the newer flagship phones. A lot of people will like that. A lot of people prefer a flat glass, but in terms of the shape, right? And the antenna bands, it does kind of remind me of those other phones. But then I also get kind of like a almost couple generation ago, like a Pixel 2 vibe to the feel of it, because it's got a nice skinny screen. It's got the color accented lock button. Actually, we should probably go through the rest of the I/O. And then it's thicker rather than being a super skinny slab. It feels really good in the hand, and the curve back here is just kind of perfect for sitting in your hand like that. I really like the hand feel. Bear in mind, of course, I do have slightly smaller hands. Another thing that's a bit of a blast from the past is, of course, the inclusion of a 3.5mm jack. Got our volume rocker over here. We've got a USB-C port that can take up to 30 watts of power for quick charging. It's a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, and then around back, we've got a dual camera system with a 64 and a 12 megapixel Sony sensor. This is kind of a funny one to me. In ASUS's marketing materials, they actually say, hey, the 64 megapixel one is like really good, so you could just use that as your telephoto lens and just zoom in. It's like, yeah, especially some of the earlier dedicated telephoto lenses on phones, that has kind of always been the case, that when they had inferior sensors on them but longer lenses, you could just use your main shooter and just digitally punch in and it looked as good, if not better. These days though, especially with a lot of the AI fixing that's done by folks like Apple and Samsung, that's not really the case anymore. Thanks to iFixit for sponsoring today's video. iFixit wants to help you skip your next phone upgrade by helping you replace your battery or fix your screen using one of iFixit's fix kits. They start at just $11 and allow you to repair camera lenses, screens, replace batteries, and they've got step-by-step guides with photos and detailed instructions. So visit the links in the description to find the repair kit for your phone. 30 watts max charging right there, and they include a Type-C to Type-C cable. Thank you, ASUS. Under-screen fingerprint sensor. Feels pretty responsive, but we won't know until we actually go to unlock the phone. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe due to the smaller screen, but ASUS opted to set it to gesture-based navigation by default. So if we're checking out some underwear on lttstore.com, we want to go back, just a little something like that. And then if you want to multitask, a little something like that. Interesting. I mean, you don't really have a ton of space, even though the chin bar and forehead bar are both very respectable. It's not like you have a ton of space on this screen to take up with buttons and the like. Now that is an improvement over those older phones. It's got a 120 hertz E4 Samsung AMOLED display that peaks at, I think it's 1100 nits of brightness. So that means that if you were to fire up Netflix or any other HDR capable video watching program, like, I don't know, say, let's head over to YouTube, you are probably gonna be getting a better HDR experience on this screen than you would on the main one in your living room. Of course, because this isn't really that large of a phone screen, I can't say that I would recommend doing all of your movie watching on it. You can see that while it is easily one-handable, it's pretty small, even compared to an older flagship phone like my Daily Driver Note 9. Surprisingly nice feeling haptics. That's kind of unexpected. A lot of the time on more budget-oriented phones, that's one of the first things that they just don't bother putting the work into because it doesn't really show up on the spec list the way that the SoC or the RAM or whatever else do, and it's easy to just ignore it, but they actually feel pretty nice. Oh, actually, we should talk about the specs because while I've referred to it as more budget optimized, it still has flagship-ish internal specs, making it a really unusual, almost like a Sony-esque phone. It's you know, small when every other flagship is gigantic these days, but it still has a Snapdragon 888 processor, up to 16 gigs of LPDDR5 memory, up to 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage, Bluetooth 5.2, Wi-Fi 6, basically everything that you would expect from a flagship phone, except there's like that weird stuff missing, I guess, to fit into this compact frame. Like normally you'd see a triple camera, or you'd have wireless charging, like reverse charging, all that kind of stuff. But they were like, no, we're going for compact, high performance, but lower price, and maybe some of the creature comfort features not really present. There's no micro SD expansion, but it does have dual SIM. Man, that is a good looking display. Oh yeah, one of the other selling points that you wouldn't normally find on a, I don't even know what this thing is. It's like budget flagship, I guess, that you wouldn't find on a budget phone is an amplified earpiece speaker for stereo. I think this one should have it though. Yeah. So you get the bottom firing speaker along with the amplified earpiece speaker. It's a lot harder to put decent speakers in a small frame like this. Man, that display looks really good. Yeah, I would keep my expectations tempered in terms of the camera. ASUS is doing a better job than they ever have in the past, but it's not, you know, the most exceptional thing. After processing, it looks a little bit better than the viewfinder does, so credit for that. What's up, Serge?
Yep, not much you.
I'm pretty good.
Just doing a recording there for you?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
All right, sweet. Oh, now seems like as good a time to mention as any that ASUS has another version of this phone though, the Zenfone 8 Flip. And that one is 6.6 inches instead of 5.9 inches on the display. It has their like rear camera, it's a triple camera array, and it flips around instead of having a hole punch selfie camera on the front, which I'm still not a big fan of, especially with how sort of wide the bezel around it is on this particular one. It's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery rather than a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, a couple other key upgrades, but also some downgrades. So it has SD card expansion, but the display doesn't get as bright. Honestly, I think this one was the right one to send me because if nothing else, it's pretty unique. Like Snapdragon 888 in this form factor, almost nobody is doing anything like that. And as long as you don't care about wireless charging, I would say that you're getting basically everything that you could need unless you are like a shutterbug and you want to take the best possible mobile photos. Yeah, it's one-handable. Oh yeah, how's the response? Okay. Unlock speed, not bad. Not great, not the fastest I've seen. It's no OnePlus, but not bad at all. I like it. And I like telling you guys to subscribe to Short Circuit so you don't miss more videos like this one.